Hi, Julie. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, Sean. How are you?
Good. Very well. Look, I really appreciate you jumping on this call. You joined Lead Searchers about a year ago now. So I just wanted to get a bit of a background on how you found the experience. Maybe you can start off with, just describing who you are and what you do for work. Would that be okay?
Yes, I will. Yeah. So I'm Julie Fenn. I work for Wagstaff Interiors Group. So we are a company that offer commercial furniture and interior fit-out services to companies in education, healthcare, government and corporate. And really, it's a tough gig to get appointments because it's very competitive and there's lots of companies around. So
maybe you could just unpack, what were you struggling with before signing up with us?
So I had a headcount issue. There's only so many people we can employ, and your company was low risk in terms of if it hadn't worked, we could have dismissed your services really quickly. It was really just a struggle, as I say, to get appointments in the interior fit out side of the business. It was an area of the business we wanted to grow.
Maybe you could walk me through some successes from the campaigns?
Yeah, so I think the first one we had success with was Spencer Academy Trust. So this was one that you set very early doors for us, and we got on their tender. We won one of the lots on the tender, so that's something we wouldn't have come across without your help. Now, but we put us in contact with Samaritans. You've put us in contact with some other businesses like PJ Hegarty, where they are now telling us that they're looking to move or that they need their sites refurbished, because it's very rare in this industry anyway that you get in with someone and they're buying straight away. But it's good because they're actually now being considered and we're aware of them, they're aware of us, we're starting those relationships. Some of the other ones that you've actually set us up with, they'll probably come to fruition, could even be up to a year down the line. But that's what we also like, Sean, because the earlier we're in on that buying cycle, the better. Because obviously the more influence we have over decisions made, earlier we can start to build those relationships. When we join too late, they've already decided maybe who they're going to use, or they're too far around that buying circle. It is actually good that you get us in at early doors. That's what we want.
Yeah, I did understand that from the word go. This isn't a high volume, quick win game.
No.
You have very high average value orders. Take me through what your typical value would be.
Well, it is everything. We could be working in the hundreds of billions. One of our last jobs we did was worth 200 million. Other jobs we do might be worth 50k, 80k. So your company was just able to kind of give us an extra headcount that was focusing on the area for us.
You know roughly how many opportunities you got from Lead Searchers?
It's probably about 4, and then we've got other contacts from you where we're just nurturing things, and hopefully in time, if a project comes along, they'll remember us. But although that doesn't sound necessarily like a lot, that actually is a lot. So I'm just going to put it in perspective. My guys are targeted to do 4 appointments a month, which from industries I've worked in before, it sounds ridiculously low. Okay, I've worked for Rightmove, I've worked for Epson, I've worked for some, big corporate companies. And so to actually have from yourselves 4 live projects that are actually on the go is actually a really big thing for us.
To me, I think I met 2 or 3 of your BDMs and had conversations with them really to try and get under the skin of what really made your prospects want to speak to you. That really helped that there's still a lot of revenue you can from the prospect.
Yeah, we're talking about, whole office moves, office relocations. These are not, your UK jobs. These are good potential revenue generators for us and really decent. So it's been more than worthwhile. And I actually agree with you. I think why it has been successful is because you did take the time to actually understand our market, what we were trying to achieve, the problems we were having. You took the time not to just, as you say, speak to me, but to also speak to the specialists in that area. So, I think the fact that you did that research and you took that time to talk to people and understand what we were trying to do meant that your campaigns were kind of more effective from the get-go.
I got on the phone with a lot of your prospects after having understood what you're offering. I think it was necessary to get on the phone, and it's not just about the emailing. It's not just about, AI and automation. I actually spoke to people. What would you say to someone who, like yourself, hadn't tried email marketing at scale before, who was kind of on the fence and thinking about it?
I think it's definitely something to invest in. Because the saying is old, but it's valid. If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. and you have to try new things. And I think investing in your company, it's low risk, if that makes sense. It's a good investment. It's not something that I'm having to commit to for years. I'm not having to employ someone to do it with all of those costs.
How much revenue you're expecting to get out of the campaign?
Looking at around the 200 per project, if not more. So we're probably looking at a good $1 million revenue. So that could be minimum, depending on the, once we get more into it, the size of the projects and how many people are moving. And a lot of these companies seem to have multiple branches, because that's the other thing, is that of course you're opening the door on one project, but a lot of these companies have more than one branches, so it's what's behind it that also falls out of that initial meeting.
Looking back at some of the records, we've still got leads that were found 6 months ago, which are still live and still referring, networking, and so that's really good advice. It's not just that one person. What's one piece of advice that you would have for other clients to get the most out of our services?
I think it's really that whole communication piece. Seeing you as part of the team, and as such, making sure that communication, expectation, challenges, everything are really clearly communicated to you. I remember in the early days, you were showing me what you was going to send. You was making sure we were happy with it. As I say, you reached out to the people actually on the coalface doing the job. Where you'd be able to get, the real intel, if you like, in terms of how we had to approach these customers and what potential challenges might be. And I think that is the key thing, is actually making sure that communication both ways, which you're very good at, Sean, is always open. And, you're giving us feedback, because you can only deliver what we put into you, if that makes sense. A bit like a CRM system. It can work very well, but it's the information you put into it that's going to drive what you get out of it. So my advice would be, really engage with you, keep you up to date. Don't think, should I be telling this guy this because he's not part of my company? You're not giving away trade secrets to anyone. Do you know what I mean?
That's really helpful. Like I always say, it is a collaboration, and I think it's no accident that the clients I work most closely with actually get the best results. Yeah, Julie, it's been really helpful, your feedback today, and I'm sure that's helped other people when they're considering using lead searchers.
That was great. It's lovely working with you, Sean. But I'm very glad of the day when you reached out to me. So I'm sure you're going to have continued success with other companies that you reached out to. And my last bit of advice to anyone, give it a go.
Appreciate it, Julie. You have a fantastic day. It's really good to see you again.
All right. You take care, darling. Bye, Sean.
Bye-bye. Cheers.